Hey guys, what is up? This is the Microcrafter as always, and I am coming to you today with a tutorial. This wasn't exactly planned or anything. I just met someone who didn't know how to do this, as the title says, port forwarding. This is to set up a Minecraft server, of course. So let's just jump right into this. I'm gonna be setting up a port forwarded server for, let's see. Let's just say my MMO server for now. So when you get a bucket server, I imagine it's still the same for a regular server. It would look a little bit like this without all of it would be a much more simple version of this. You got your world and everything, and you got your server properties. Let me just open this up really quick. It's kind of taking a while. It's actually a little slow. I don't know why. Anyway, you'll see this is all the stuff. I'm not teaching you how to start a server. You'd have to look at a different tutorial for that. So I'm not going to go into these. So let's say allow another, where is it? Max players. Server IP. Now, you want to pay attention right now to server IP and server port. For this, since I have two servers and sometimes I run them at the same time, I use a different port for this one since it's not an official server yet. But usually it would be 25565. Now if you're running two servers like me, you'd keep the most important one at 25565. So that way you don't have to type in a port, you could just put in your regular IP address. Now I'm going to use, as an example, maybe 12345. Something easy to remember. Now your server IP. For this, you want to go to your start. No, note I have Windows 7. So it's usually you'd have something like this for Windows XP. I know it says run on the side, but I'd imagine it's basically the same for each person. So right over here you type in CMD and then come up right here with I don't know if you can see it. It's command prompt basically. This is your commands for your computer. Now you should see this. So right here, now you're going to type in IP, no spaces, config, CONFIG. Hit enter, and it should just pop up with all this information about your IP config. Now you want to scroll up until you see, now I'm at the top. So now you're going to keep going around until you see, where is it? Wireless LAN. So this is my wireless since I'm running on my laptop. Oh wait, no, hold on. Sorry, I should be right here. Yes, wireless. This is my wireless connection. So right here is all my IPs and everything like that. Now, this is my internal IP right here. This is the one you want to look for. IPv4 address. Now this is your computer's internal IP address, which is your personal computer's IP. So it's 192.168.1.10. Now usually people's are about the same as this, except for this last number after this last point. I changed mine to 10, but I'm not going to show you how to change yours because it's really unneeded. And that's the one you put right here, server IP, and you put yours right there. Now I'm going to minimize, or I'm actually going to keep this to the side right now because you're going to need it in a sec. Basically, you just save this. I'm just going to exit it because I didn't change anything. Now you're pretty much done with all your server stuff within that folder. So right now you want to open up a new internet bar. For now, let's just use this since I happen to have one open. So now you want to type up here the same IP address, your internal IP address that you found in the command prompt. So it's 195. I'm sorry, what was it? I always forget these IP addresses. They're a little confusing sometimes to me. It can't be in the search bar here. It has to be up here in your URL bar. So mine was 192.168.1.1 Oh, and I'm sorry. The one you type in this URL bar is actually your default gateway, which is your router's internal IP address. And it says it right there, so it's basically the same thing without the 0. So I'm just gonna full screen this. Then you hit enter. Now sometimes it'll pull up with something like this. If you have Verizon, which is what I used to have, it would come up with a big red screen. It'll say Verizon, and then it would have basically the same thing. The default to most routers are admin for your username and password for your password. Sometimes it's different, and 99.999% of the time it shows up on your router. So you should go on the back of your router. If you can't find it, type in, it'll say it somewhere there. Mine said it in very small font, so might not be too easy to find, but you should see it. It's a username and password. So hit OK. Now on the side here, yours will not look the same as mine, but trust me, it'll be pretty much the exact same thing. Since I've gone through 3 routers now, it's all the same. Somewhere, whether it be on the top or on the side, you will see port forwarding, and mine says / port triggering. Right now you only need port forwarding, so you're just going to click on it. Port triggering, you're not going to be messing with that. Basically anywhere it says port forwarding. Now you see I've port forwarded 3 different servers now. One's on my desktop, 2 are on my laptop, one's important on my laptop, and you can see 25565. That's my most important one. If it's 25565, which is the default one for Minecraft, when you're typing it in the actual Minecraft, you do not have to put 25565. You can just leave it blank, and it'll automatically put 25565 for you. With other ones, if you port forward something other than 25565, you will have to type it in when you're connecting to the server. You'd have to type in the :25 or whatever your port thing is. So I would type in like 1 2 3 4 5 for this one. So let's just create a new one for now. For me, it says add custom service. Sometimes it'll say add port or open port or something like that. Maybe not open port, but for me it says add custom port. It might just say add port. But let's just click on that. Alright, service name. So you just type something in here. For me, I'm going to type in Minecraft _ hut _ server for now. I'll just delete it when I'm done. It might not look exactly like this, but it should say somewhere server type, or give you an option of different ways. There might be a longer list than this. Mine's pretty simple. You should see somewhere a TCP, a UDP, or a TCP/UDP. If you can get TCP/UDP, you should click on that one. But if it's saying for each of these different ones, the starting port and the ending port, if you choose 2 different ones, then you choose one of these each. It usually doesn't say anything like that though, and it might come in a different order than this. I know it does for certain Verizon ones. But anyway, for the ports, it has to be a 5-digit number, anywhere from 1 to 65,535. It might be different for some people. I don't know. So let's just make up one on the spot right here. It doesn't really matter as long as that port is not being used. So I choose one that's pretty significant that no other thing will be using. So right now, let's just put 12121. Something pretty simple. Actually, let's just do, what should we do? 1 2 3 4 6 maybe, or it could really be anything. So let's just type in 10. Actually, let's just make it all ones. 11111. It has to be 5 digits, so 1 2 3 4 5, and these are usually the same. Actually, they're always the same. Ending port and starting port. This right here, server IP address, is the internal IP address to the computer you are forwarding it on. If you're forwarding it on a laptop, then open up the command prompt you had before and it's your IPv4 address, which is your personal the computer you're on. It's the internal. So right there, there's mine. It just has a 10 at the end. Note that if you go to a friend's house or you go somewhere and you're not connected to your specific router, the router at your house or whichever one you're doing all this on, it's not going to start the server. You're going to have to port forward again. But if you're running on a desktop, it should be perfectly fine. Okay, so you can see I already used this before, so it keeps 10, so I'm just going to type in 10, since that's what was my IPv4. So you just hit apply, and where is it? There it is. Minecraft Tut server, starting on all ones. Basically, you're done. Well, you're done with that. You should be done. Just as a test, I'm going to show you my my MMO server. I guess I'll change it up a bit. I'll fix it later. Go to server properties. As I said before, server IP is right there. And server port. And you just change it to the port I just port forwarded. And I can't see save right now. My numbers are in the way. You can't see them though. At least I don't think so. And then save. Now if I run my server, which it's different on a bucket server. If you're running a vanilla or a default server, it's going to be different when you start this, but when I start it, it comes up like this. I'm going to minimize this now because I'm going to have to change it in a minute. So that's all you pretty much need, and just to prove it to you guys, it's generating everything. And I'm going to start at my Minecraft. Log in. Full screen, because they love full screen. Go to multiplayer, and of course that's not my IP address. It's 68.5.141.22. Now that's my regular server. I'm going to show you right now. You connect to that one, and you come into my regular server, my normal server. Let me just, okay. So you come into my normal server. But if you put this at the end of it, which is the port if that's what happens when you get a 25565. If you put 25565 in, you don't have to type anything. Just I'm so sorry. Forgot one last step. It's not even a step, it's just to help you. So go on the internet, and this is how you find out the IP address people connect to. You go to it's what's my IP. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, go to what's my IP address. First one. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to do anything. It just says your IP address is right there. It'll be different for everyone. So that's your IP address. That's the thing you type in to connect to the server when you open Minecraft. So there it is, 68.195 whatever. And that's how you get it. So I typed it in there to connect to my server. Now I'm going to put the port that I just did. So that's the port that I just opened in the tutorial. So connect. Loading world. Downloading terrain. There you go. I'm in the server. So probably make a tour of this server, depending on if you guys ever want it. It looks pretty cool, trust me. So I guess there you go. That's how you port forward. Pretty simple, you know. I hope you guys have learned something. I know I did when I first did this. So have fun. Better than Hamachi. What? I didn't say anything. Yes, I did. Alright, I guess till next time. Microcrafter. This is port forwarding, and this is the server I was working on, and/or M. So I'm actually gonna get a cool pan out view to leave it on. That's not what I want. Whoa, a little shaky. So see you guys next time.